What's going on, guys? Today we're going to continue our behind the scenes series, and I'm going to show you Soundtrap. Soundtrap's a really cool program, and the reason why is it's free. For one, it can be free or it can cost money. I actually get the premium version of this, but I'm going to show you how it all works together and how you can get it completely free for the first month. One thing that I pride myself on with my content is presentation, and when I first started with YouTube 2 months ago at this point, I had people give me some positive feedback about my MazTech Gaming intro, and I wrote that song myself. Now, I'm not bragging. The reason why I'm telling you I wrote that song myself is because this program right here, Soundtrap, is what I used to make that song. And let's get started. The first thing you're going to notice here is that it looks exceptionally complicated. I assure you it's not. It's kind of intimidating looking at first, but once you continue to use it, it gets a lot easier. Now, I don't want you to look at it in terms of look at all these little dots and lines and whatnot. I want you to look at it as its own individual section, because that's what it is really. So we are in the studio, as it's called, and you can see that you can take each individual layer here, which is its own instrument, and you can mute it out. So this button right here, and you just hit the button, it'll turn purple. And what's going to happen at that point is then it'll break down, so all you hear is the piano part. Here's another example. Let's mute the grand piano layer now and unmute the French horn layer. As you can see, this allows you to hear individually what each instrument is going to sound like and if it's going to work together in your song. Now, I will do this with each instrument to make sure it all sounds like it's going to mesh together correctly. Okay, now let's go into the piano roll, as they call it. And this is really where you put the notes into play, all right? That gives you the opportunity to hear what it's going to sound like ahead of time and make any changes you want to. Now, again, it looks intimidating. It's really not. Really what I do is I actually just make a measure of my music and then I copy and paste, especially for complex looking songs like this one. Each individual layer or instrument has its own quote-unquote piano roll. It's all called a piano roll. This is for the drums, and you can see that the pattern on this piano roll is much more simplistic than what we just showed on the grand piano. And on the French horn, you can see this is also simplistic, and it has longer notes to it, and I'll show you how that works as well. And the string section has a combination of short and long notes to it. So I'll give you another example as well. This is the TRFGUY theme. Shout out to my boy TRFGUY. He's a new YouTuber as well. I definitely suggest you check him out. The gaming channel, fantastic edits. Check out his videos, they really are funny. I composed this song for TRFGUY using a different method. It's the loop method. I'm going to show you that real quick. So when you start a new project, there's an option to browse loops. Well, when you go in there, you can choose different instruments, whether it be guitar riffs or bass, drums, however you want, and you can also choose the chord in which they'll be played. In this case, we use D minor. And then, of course, you can break it down and listen to it and see how it's going to sound together as well. Of course, just like when you're editing audio in your videos, you also want to edit the volume of your individual instruments, because sometimes if they're too loud, it sounds out of place. And I'll give you some examples here. Again, each individual layer has its own volume, so you can continue to tweak and make adjustments until you get the right sound. Right here is the knob to adjust the individual sound. You just want to drag it left to turn it down, or drag your mouse right to turn up the volume. You can see in some cases here how the absence of that instrument kind of makes it sound like something is actually missing. And then on the flip side, you can definitely tell if a specific instrument is turned up too much. Keep playing with the volumes and tweaking it until it sounds right, and then you can move on to the next part. So now let's put it together. we want to go ahead and enter the studio, and that's this orange button right here on the screen. You can also choose different templates from pop, hip hop, just as a beat to start a song. For this, we're going to choose blank, and then we're going to go over here and click on Add New Track. Once you click that, you're going to get a bunch of different instruments that you can choose from. In this case, we're going to start with synthesizer. And right here, you can go ahead and choose the type of instrument you want. In this case, we use the dubstep growler for the leads. Once you click that, it's going to load up. And then you'll notice the piano at the bottom. You can go ahead and hit different keys, and it'll give you a preview of what that's going to sound like. Now we're going to go into our piano roll here. Now you're going to see a grid. This is your scale, and you'll see the C4, C3, C2 there on the left. That's your octave level. Now you're going to go up to the top, right next to your instrument, and you're going to right click there. Now we want to select Create Region. This is going to allow us to put notes on the region. Now in the lower right corner, you want to go ahead and click and drag, and you can expand this region or make it smaller. We definitely want to expand it for this. On the right over here, we want to grab the pen icon. That's going to allow us to plot notes. Plot the note on the region, and then you can hover over it with your mouse and hold down to hear what that note's going to sound like. Now you can also drag it and move it, and you can move it up and down to different notes. It's very user-friendly. You can also click on the edge of the note, and you can drag it out so you can hold the note longer. At the bottom, you can hit play just to preview what it's going to sound like. So let's see what we can come up with real quick, just to give you an example. Now let's go back up and click the arrow, which is next to the pen. Now we can select all by clicking and dragging the mouse over all of the notes. This is where the complex looking portion becomes easy. Right click on the mouse and choose copy. Then we want to adjust our line to where we want the copied notes to start. You can move the line back and forth by going up to the top and sliding left or right. Hitting Control V allows us to continue to paste as long as we want, so we're just going to go for our regular 16 beat here. You'll notice here at the bottom there's the metronome. You can switch that on or off. It's really your choice. It's not going to be present in the final version of your song. Okay, once we're happy with our beat, we want to go ahead back up to Add New Track, and now we can choose another instrument. This time we're going to go into guitar and bass. Now in that instrument selection tool that you had before, double click on that, and it's going to open up your entire inventory of instruments that you can choose from. Now here are your instrument presets. We're going to go ahead and we're going to choose bass electric, and you can see it right here on the list. And that's going to open up a whole new selection of different types of bass guitars. Now you can see the little play button on them. You can choose whatever one you want and preview it. You'll also notice that some instruments say premium/supreme or free. This is a free program. Some of the instruments are not free, and we'll get into that as well. Now we're just going to rinse and repeat. We're going to go ahead and we're going to create a region and then put our notes where it'll fit with the growler. Then let's add some percussion. We also added another keyboard as a lead. And what we can do here is we click and drag everything that we've done. And then when you paste it, you can also take that next issue that you pasted and drag it an octave below to give it a little bit more volume. So let's put it together now. Of course, don't forget to adjust your volume levels. This is where we can turn our metronome on or off. And we also, to the left of that, want to start messing around with the tempo, because to me, this sounds a little bit slow and it can definitely be sped up. So we can choose a speed between 30 and 300 beats per minute. For this, we found that the right speed was 180. Once you're happy with your song, go up to the top, click the save button, go ahead and rename it. Once you hit save, your song will mix, and then you'll be able to download it into an MP3 format, and you're ready to add it to one of your videos. So this is a free program, as I had mentioned. You do get it free. You get the premium for free for a month, and then you have to pay for it. Or you can continue to go with the free instruments and whatnot, but you can have a maximum of 5 songs at any given time. I will go ahead and leave the link to Soundtrap in the description below. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this coming out each week. Thanks for watching, and as always, thank you for being a gamer. See you next time.